All righty, episode 10.
It's episode 10.
We're
Woo!
double digits.
Yep. I can't believe it. We made it.
We made
Yep.
it. And you know what time it is? It's time to dress up again.
Yeah, it is. If you guys didn't notice, I know I say that every podcast, but we're dressed up again, but it's Taqueritas themed.
It is, yeah.
Cinco de Mayo. We got we got a lovely blow up cactus. We should name her. We got one behind
name
Rob.
it right now. You got to go for it.
Lupita.
Lupita, okay.
I don't know,
All right.
that feels right. And then, yeah, we have our lovely decorations. If you guys are watching this on Facebook, if you're watching in Spotify, just imagine.
Yeah, just imagine tacos and margaritas, which you can see in person on Sunday.
Yeah, ayo.
We'll talk about that later. But yeah, we are Taquerita Central here at Berglund Center this week, last week, and all the way up to Sunday. So we're excited. So we figured we'd just bring that type of energy to the podcast.
Heck yeah. We're pumped today. We're stoked. Can you tell? Super excited. No, but really.
Yeah, well, awesome. Let's roll right into it. We got an awesome episode for you guys. Let's start out with one of my favorite new segments, Berglund Bits. All right, so what's your bit? What's your little fun fact about Berglund Center today,
So
Tiffany?
one of my favorite things I learned when I started working here was that the Berglund Performing Arts Center, or Theater, has a furry mascot, and her name is Lucy the Production Pug. She has an Instagram. If you go to our Instagram, you can look her up through who we follow. But she's adorable, and she actually helps our stagehands at most of our shows.
Yes.
So she's this cute little pug. I'm not sure how old she is. She looks to probably be about 3 or 5. But she's the cutest thing. Like, I love going in the theater on show days and just seeing her run around. And she's on the stage and she's just saying hi to everybody, and she's super friendly. But
yeah, she brings more morale to the team back there on those hard nights when they're not getting out till 3 in the morning.
True.
You got a dog smiling at you and licking you, and then brings you back to life.
So cute.
I love that. Yeah, I didn't know she had an Instagram, though. That's awesome.
Yeah, she does. Well, I think she either follows us or somebody tagged her, like one of our performers. And I saw she had an Instagram, and I was like, oh, we got to talk about this now. So she might be right behind Miss Peaches. So.
Oh, yeah, right below. We might have a problem here because every time I turn my head to come look at you, it just smacks right in there. So I might not be looking at you too much.
Oh, you're good.
Okay.
You're good. I feel like we look at each other enough during the day that we might be all right. But yeah, so there's Lucy the Production Pug. You may not get to see her if you guys come to shows, but just know she's there.
Yeah, she's always there.
Yeah, we love her. So our next segment, Rob, I'll go ahead and throw you in. It's you can't forget the pop. Yep, pop goes Berglund. So we're gonna actually talk about some local.
We
pop
are in
culture.
a goofy mood today.
We are. We got the giggles or something. I think we're just super excited for this week.
Yeah.
So for local pop culture, if you guys are on social media, I'm sure you're seeing the best of Roanoke Awards everywhere.
Yes.
So we actually have the magazine right here, and we are excited to announce that this podcast that you're listening to right now won platinum.
Woo!
So let's go. Thank y'all for your support, for listening, and for voting. So me and Rob are super stoked about it. That's like such a cool thing to hear. So I don't know about Rob, but I had to walk around my office a couple times because I just was like, oh my gosh, this is, I don't know, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah, we appreciate everyone voting for us. Whether you're listening for 10 minutes or you're listening to the whole thing, we appreciate you checking us out and doing our interviews. It's something fun that we get to do with our job, but it's just awesome that you guys took the time out of your day to vote for us. It means a lot. So thank you for that. We're going to continue to keep trying to grow this podcast, make it better. We say this every time, but if you have any suggestions, anything you'd like to see or anybody you want on here, please let us know. We're totally open to feedback.
Yep.
But yeah, thank you. It's awesome.
Yeah, thank you guys
excited.
so much. It's such a cool thing.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to know my decorating is not going unnoticed. No, I'm just kidding. That was a joke. But
no, that's what put us over the top. They're like, this podcast or that one. I don't know. Those guys dress up every month and have some cool decorations.
Yeah, decorate the podcast studios.
Yeah.
I was gonna say sponsored by Amazon. That's a joke though. We buy all of
it.
No
free ads.
No free ads.
Amazon.
Yeah.
Hit us up.
Yep. So speaking of awards, Miss Taylor Swift's new album came out.
Oh yeah.
So I know I've talked about this on the podcast. I think Taylor is awesome. am not a Swiftie, but you know who
Okay.
is
Yeah,
Rob.
yeah.
So I have not listened to anything other than the snippets I've heard on TikTok, which
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, were really good.
Yeah.
So you tell me, what do you think of the album?
Okay, I got lots of thoughts. How
Oof,
long we
I'm
got?
ready.
First thing I want to say is it's definitely Sad Girl Summer. I mean, it's like so depressing. So
Oh,
if you want to, there's a couple of positive songs. I've listened to it all the way through twice now because it's long. It's she released a double album.
Yeah.
It's almost sort of. Even though it's sad, it's almost like a love letter to her fans. Like,
Yeah.
if you don't know like all the drama and stuff of who she's dating, you're probably like, what is this album? Because it's like poetry, but like for people that kept up with her, she's like, it's like a tell-all. Like,
Yeah.
she's all these people that are super invested in her life. So you're seeing a lot of mixed reviews out there, because if you just take the music for face value, I could see why it's maybe not your cup of tea.
Right.
But for people that love Taylor Swift, you're not going to be able to convince them that this is their best album. I mean, there's so many cool lines and funny stuff. We've talked about it before. I respect anybody that writes their own music.
Oh, 100%.
So that's kind of what got me into Taylor Swift is just I respect artists. It's long. It's awesome. It's everything you could have hoped for. It's great. There's some. I find myself singing it all the time. So I would give it a high rating. I like it, but that is the reason for the mixed reviews, because you will see some people that maybe aren't as well versed in the Taylor Swift universe to have different opinions on it. But it's well written. It's kind of poetry in a sense, and that is it's the Tortured Poets Society.
Yeah.
Is the name of the album. So it is a little bit more spoken word, but. There's some Travis Kelce stuff on there, which was kind of fun. But yeah, I give it, if I had to rate it, I give it a 93 out of 100.
Nice. That's a super high score.
Yeah,
That's passing.
yeah.
That's an A+.
Yeah,
Almost.
no, not quite an A+.
94 is an A+, right?
99, 100. What are you talking about?
Oh, man. I've been out of school too long.
What do you
Anyways,
think an A+ is?
I thought you got the plus if you were like 5 points off.
No.
Anyways. My school must have been really easy on us. That's why everyone passed at my school. No, I'm just kidding. But I have to ask you, I do keep up with the lore behind that album.
Yes.
So do you think most of this album is about the 1975 singer Maddie Healy? What do you think?
See, that was a surprise for everybody. Thought that it was going to be about her ex, Joe Alt. I mean, not Joe Alt. Joe, I forget his name. But it's mostly about Matt Healy.
What a slap in the face to her ex, though. He's probably like, oh, this whole album's going to be about me. And it's about this dude that she dated in between.
Yeah.
Which, it happens.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where it was probably such a whirlwind and so fast that it probably like knocked her off her feet.
Yep.
What I would guess, but yeah, it is mostly about him.
Yeah.
Which is super interesting. Did you see somebody walk up to him and was like, "How do you feel about your Taylor Swift diss track?"
I will give it to him. He has been super mature about it. I do like his responses because there's a whole world of things he could say. Like being in the public eye, you could say whatever you want. It's out there for the world to see. But I think they're both being mature despite the glaring fact that album is about him. And I respect that. I respect the fact that she wrote an album about him. And I think he's done the same. He's wrote some songs about her too. So.
That was going to be my next point is like people are so tangled in her life that you know who it's about. But like what is heart love songs 90% of music?
Yeah, well, you're supposed to write if you're writing songs. What are you going to write about? But what affects you the most?
Right,
you know,
exactly,
like that's
exactly.
if love's affecting you the most, you're going to write about that. If your life's affecting you the most, like work, job, you're going to write about
exactly.
So it all makes sense. But yeah, I respect it. I am going to have to give it a listen. There is one that I keep hearing on TikTok that is super catchy. So I'll give it a chance. All right, you heard it here first.
Okay, all right, report back.
Yes. So the next thing we want to talk about, it's music festival season.
Yeah, it is.
So Rob, have you been keeping up with any of the Stagecoach, Coachella, any of that?
Yeah, I've been passing. I saw a lot of Stagecoach recently. That must have just happened. I saw Coachella. Did you see all those The barricade went down, and then all those hot dog vendors stormed the gate.
No, I did not. Okay, I'm gonna have to look
like 30
up.
hot dog vendors are
No.
there's just video of them just rolling through. It's so
I am
funny.
dead. Do you think they're the ones that made it go down?
Yeah, probably.
Oh,
They're
has
like,
to be. Has to be.
We got to sell some. But
Yeah.
what's for the debate, Stagecoach versus Coachella? Where do you stand?
So honestly, I would go to either one, but
Yeah,
I will
of course
say
you would.
the festivals that I haven't mentioned, there's one that just happened in Vegas. It's called Sick New World. That's a metal festival.
Oh yeah.
Those are where you would find me. I would love to go to Coachella one year, and I almost did when I lived in California.
Did you?
But the tickets were so expensive.
Oh,
there was
yeah.
nowhere to stay out there. I mean, I would have camped maybe, but I feel like just pulling up with a tent right outside of Coachella was probably illegal. So.
See, there's a debate whether like anybody actually goes to that or it's just celebrities.
That's a good point. Well,
Yeah.
people were saying it's like the influencer Olympics.
Yeah,
I heard
right,
on TikTok.
right.
So, and Revolve,
that.
the brand, I keep up with like fashion and everything.
Yeah.
And Revolve, the brand, actually did this funny thing at their after party where they said if you had over 1 million followers, you could go in one door, and if you had less than 1 million followers, you had to go in another door.
My
And it
goodness.
was a joke.
Oh.
But people took it seriously.
Oh, of
and
course
this
they
one
did.
girl said she was leaving the after party because she
Oh
was
my
offended. I was like,
gosh.
"Ooh." But anyways, as far as music festivals go, I love them. I
Yeah.
think it's a great way to see everybody all at once, so you don't have to like split up your concert experience. And
Yeah.
I don't know, it's a fun couple days, but
Are you going to any this summer?
yeah, I'm actually going to Incarceration, and it's in Ohio.
What's the name of it?
So it's Incarceration. It's a play on incarceration because it
Gotcha.
happens at an insane asylum.
What in the world?
Yeah, it sounds crazy, but it's really cool. They do it every year, and that is, I think, the second closest one to me that I can go
All
to.
right.
So if I don't come back, you know what happened.
Yeah,
No,
you got captured by ghosts.
Yeah, I hope not. Oh gosh, that sounds terrible. But yeah, it's a metal festival. I can't wait.
That
I'm
sounds
excited.
awesome.
Yep.
That's a cool. All jokes aside, that's a really cool setting for
Yeah, and the reason that it has ink in the name, they have
tattoos.
tattoo artists there, but I'm
Are you
not
gonna
getting.
get anyone?
No, not there.
Yeah.
I gotta cool it.
You
on
say
the
that now.
tattoos.
You say that now. You're gonna come
Yeah.
back. This is the girl
Yeah.
that went and got her nose pierced on her lunch break.
Nose, you mean my eyebrow?
Eyebrow. I can't
I
keep
did.
up.
I
Yeah.
did. I'm all for spontaneous decisions,
Yeah.
but when it comes to
Yeah.
tattoos,
So a festival that has tattoo artists.
yeah, but those
I'm
are a
gonna put
little
the
more permanent.
All right.
Those are just a little. I can take out the eyebrow piercing. I cannot take
true.
off the tattoo.
That's
so.
true.
But yeah, I'm excited to
true.
see how fun that is. This is my first time going. I used to go to a different metal festival that I don't think is happening this year. So I'm excited to give this one a chance.
Heck
but-
yeah. I'm
Yep.
going to Ocean's Calling in Maryland in
Oh,
September.
sweet. Okay, tell me some artists that are at that
Blink
one.
182.
Okay, already sold.
Yeah, The Killers.
Oh, that sounds awesome. How did
Yeah.
I not know about this? This
Yeah,
sounds
we're
great.
going Saturday, which is The Killers. My wife and I have
Mm-hmm.
been trying to track them down, and we've been wanting to go to Vegas, but we were like, you know what, let's not wait for because they're from
Yeah.
that area, and they did a residency where they just played their first album.
You're
front
gonna
to
love
back.
them.
Have you seen them?
Yeah, I got to see them. They came to San Francisco, and I went and saw him. And Brandon Flowers looks like he just has not aged.
Really?
Like he looks the same as he did back when I was in like middle school.
Yeah.
It's incredible, and he's such a good performer. He sounds great live. You
I
guys
can't
are
wait
gonna
to
love
see
him.
it. I can't wait to see
Yeah,
it. Yeah, it's
I
all
mean,
the way
it's
at
so
the end of September, but
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait for y'all
Yeah.
to see it. So
Awesome.
that's gonna be fun.
that's great.
But so I'll let you take the floor for the NFL draft
Dun,
because,
dun, dun, dun.
as you guys know, I do not know much about sports. So Rob, I'll let you take the floor on this one.
It was good. It was fun.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll throw it to you for that.
NFL draft Thursday's fun. It's when they do the first round and all the exciting stuff happens. But like after that, I'll be honest with you, I love football, but I'm really just checking my phone, saying, "Oh, this is the
Yeah,
Giants
it's-
got." I mean, there was some crazy stuff, but we really want to go deep into it. Like the Falcons signed Kirk Cousins. Do you know who that
Okay.
is?
I've heard the name.
So he's
Yep.
older. He just tore his Achilles,
Oh,
and they
wow.
just gave him $100 million to be their quarterback.
What?
And then they drafted somebody at 8, which is like 8th overall pick. So everyone was shocked. That was
Yeah,
kind of the
that's
big news.
Interesting choice.
Yeah. So there's a funny video of it. Looks like the coach explaining to the owner
Oh,
what just
God.
happened.
Yeah, he's probably like, listen, this
This
was
is
my
what
thought
we
process
did."
behind this. Not great, but here we are.
I'm a Giants fan. We got Malik Neighbors, who's a wide receiver out of LSU. So excited about that. People are asking who's going to throw it to him. I still believe in our quarterback, but that's beside the point. And I'm really looking forward to see Caleb Williams play. He was the number 1 overall pick. They're calling him like the first Gen Z quarterback. He paints his fingernails.
I respect it.
Yeah,
I respect it. I love it.
So he makes a lot of people mad, but he's really, really cocky. So it's going to be really interesting to see how he is.
I wonder if he gets hit really hard one time in the NFL. What's going to happen to him?
See, that's the thing. I think he'll be fine. I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for him. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He gets the wind knocked out of him.
Yeah.
Maybe it knocks the cocky out.
That stuff changes you.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
It's the old Mike Tyson quote. Everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face.
It's true. It changes a person. When you get hit once, like super hard, you're like, ooh, yeah.
I don't want that ever again.
I don't want that smoke. I don't want that smoke.
Yeah, but it was good. It's fun. I'm excited. It was cool to see. It's like for teams that aren't doing as good, you get it's like your Super Bowl. Who we're gonna be? It gives you new hope.
Yeah, that's true.
Good.
The one thing I do keep up with is the reactions of the families and the
girlfriends.
girlfriends.
Yes.
Yes, those are entertaining every year, and somebody made a highlight reel on TikTok of the best reactions over the year.
Okay. Do you have a favorite?
I could not tell you who it was, but one of them just looked around with her mouth just wide open in shock the whole time.
Yeah.
But
Russell Wilson's wife.
Yeah, that was probably.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, his ex-wife. Yep, that was it.
Yep.
That was the one.
The best is CeeDee Lamb is when he had 2 phones.
Oh yes! Oh my
goes
God!
to grab it and then he grabs it back. He's like, no.
The look on his face, he looked like. Oh my gosh! I think she saw her chance and was like, "I'm gonna take it."
Yeah. Or when the moms and the girlfriends are fighting.
Oh yeah.
I think there should be a rule. If you've been dating for less than a year, it's mom's time to shine.
Yep.
But if you're engaged, then you can get the seat right now.
Yeah, 100%. Like I even think dating for a couple years, mom always should.
Yeah. In the draft, then you're not quite married yet.
Yeah, until you're there to potentially stay. Maybe.
Right.
Maybe just back up. You'll be there in the background until you know. Just wait your turn, girl.
It always works out bad for them because they end up overstepping. So if you're ever in a situation, if there's any girlfriends out there that have boyfriends that are going to the NFL draft.
Yeah, here's your advice. Here's your advice from us normal people watching from home. Yeah, because our opinion completely matters.
Yeah,
but
right.
Anyways,
we got it all figured out.
Yeah. So on that note, our Super Bowl is this weekend.
Yes.
Taco Rita's is Sunday. We are super stoked about it. I get excited every year. I was employed here actually a few weeks before we did Taqueritas.
Yeah.
And I'm stoked to do it again. It's going to be bigger and better this year. And just to go over some of the ticket prices, $49 will get you the VIP package.
Yes.
Which gets you a VIP lanyard, which if you guys follow us on social media.
Here it is
then
right here.
Rob also has the VIP lanyard. So those were designed one of a kind.
Taco person.
Yep. And then you get a Taquerita shot glass.
Here we go.
Yep. And then you get the margarita tasting wristbands.
Here it is.
Which gives you 5 tastings so you can figure out what your favorite flavor is.
Yes.
And then you have 3 taco vouchers, which Rob is showing right here. And then you also get your own flavor, margarita flavor. We got a special one for you. You get your own specific line to get margaritas.
Yep. You get in an hour early.
Yep, you get in an hour early, and probably the best 2 things, in my opinion, you get your own space, like VIP space. You get unlimited chips and salsa in that space, and you also get your own. I think they get a bathroom, nice bathroom.
Yep, definitely do. Yeah, it's definitely worth it. And if you want VIPs and you're watching this Friday, you got to get them before Sunday.
Yes.
But the reason I was messing with my phone because Tiffany worked really hard, and we both did, but Tiffany especially worked really hard getting all these vendors. So I just wanted to read them all off for the people.
Yeah, so listen in, guys.
All right, so we got face painting for the kids. So no charge for face painting, which as a parent, the worst thing is when you go to these events, you think you're going to spend a little bit of money, and then you got to buy this, then you got to buy that. So we're covering the face painting. So bring the kids, get in line. Big Daddy's Munchies, Cabo Fish Taco, Diablo's Taco Truck, El Gordo's, Fonda Hernandez, Empanada Nirvana Roanoke, how do you say that?
Hangracy.
Hangracy
so it's like
food truck. That's right. Hangracy food truck. Crafts, Hello Roanoke, shout out to them. They're going to be there. Leo's Catering, Local Colors, Pop-Up Smoke. We got a vegan option for Queen's Vegan Cafe, Rock and Roll Diner. Salsa Roanoke's going to be there giving out some salsa lessons. Tuco's and Yaya Sweets, which is Mexican little treats and sweets. So, I mean, that list is so long. You're going to be able to find any type of taco that you like. We got margaritas. We worked especially hard. We did some taste testing to make sure that they were good. I'm super excited about this event. I almost wish I didn't have to work it.
I know, me too. But I mean, the fun part is if you guys are coming to the event, you'll see me and Rob running around.
Yes.
If you guys have any questions for us, we'll have the schedule out for you guys then. You guys can also check our social media for the schedule, but we're going to have some live music. And one thing I'm really excited about that Rob actually, Taco Rob is going to MC this year. We have our taco eating, if you want.
No, I'm just kidding.
We have our taco eating contest, which if you're watching, you can see that we have first and second place. So they're pretty cool tacos. I actually really wish I could do the contest.
You think you could do it?
I don't think I could do it, to be honest, but I really want like the sparkly. I think I could maybe get second.
This one. Rob will make it for you.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
And I'm going to go ahead and say this. If anybody comes up to us and says, hey, we like your podcast or we heard you on the podcast, I'm going to give you a free taco voucher.
Oh, look at that.
So just come up to the merch stand. You see either one of us and you say, love the podcast. We'll give you a taco voucher.
That's your secret phrase.
Yeah.
So you get a free taco. Look at that. We're giving.
It pays to listen to the show.
It does. It does. So that's Taqueritas Sunday, 12 to 5. If you're a VIP, you get in at 11. So we're super stoked. Can't wait. And
inflatables in the kids zone.
We can't forget the kids zone.
We said the face painting, but there's also 3 different inflatables, free chips and salsa for the kids, baby Ritas, which are virgin margaritas. So if the kids, I know my kids like to pretend that they're having part of it. So you get them a little cup, and we got they're going to be some arts and crafts for them to do. So it's a real family friendly event. We got mariachi band playing. We got regular music going. I mean, salsa lessons, you name it. Please come out and see us on Sunday. I guarantee it's going to be a good time.
Oh yeah. There really is something for everybody there. So, and then on that note, we also have something for everybody. Man, my transitions are just on point. Anyways,
there we go.
We have something for everybody here this month at Berglund Center. So just to start to go off of the events we have on May 3rd, which is today, we have the Ultimate Dental Hygiene Masterclass brought to you by Henritzi Dental. They're one of our sponsors, and we love them. They're awesome. And then on May 4th, we have the 9th annual Spring Craft and Vendor Show, as well as the Kiwanis Pancake Breakfast.
Yes.
So come out and get some pancakes. That starts at 7, and then the craft show starts at 9.
Look, we got your whole weekend planned.
Yeah,
come get some pancakes, go shopping, and then come get some tacos on Sunday.
Heck yes. And then May 5th, we've already talked about it, but Taqueritas, you don't want to miss it, you guys. And then May 9th, we have the Book of Mormon, which is pretty much sold out at this point. I would say it is sold out. So that's going to be an awesome show. Our last one for Broadway in Roanoke before we announce our new season, which we're stoked about. May 13th, we have Leonid and Friends, which is the world's greatest Chicago tribute. Those guys are so stinking talented. I watched a video of them, and if you guys want to come see the closest thing to Chicago, and they also do Earth, Wind, and Fire covers.
Chicago said that they play the music better than they do.
Well, there you have it. There you have it. If you guys want to see Chicago better than Chicago,
isn't that crazy?
Them on May 13th. That is the highest compliment I think anyone could pay. That's insane. And then on May 15th, we have the AABOA Business Trade Expo.
Killed that.
Yep, that was a tough one.
You get knocked out the park.
And then on May 17th, this event is now sold out, but we have the Daddy-Daughter Dance with Star Country. And then another thing that I am just super stoked about that's coming here, and is also happening at Elmwood Park, which Rob and I will expand a little more on this.
Yes.
But we have Festival in the Park After Dark. These are the nighttime concerts that are happening in part with Festival in the Park, but they're happening at Berglund Center. So we have on Thursday, May 23rd, we have Country Night, which features Corey Hunley, Kylie Frey, and Logan Crosby. On Friday, the 24th, we have Pure Prairie League. On Saturday, the May 25th, and probably the one I'm most excited for, we have the Almond Betts Band. And then on Sunday, we're closing it out on the 26th with the 1964 The Tribute, which is a Beatles tribute. So they had them last year. They were a crowd favorite.
Oh, they've been here for 30 years or so.
Oh, yeah, they're coming back.
Yeah.
But just to explain, so Festival in the Park is still happening at Elmwood for free. You get in for free for the daytime activities. And then at dusk, if you don't want to come to the concerts, they're going to have a movie night over there that you just have to grab some tickets for while you're there at the park.
Right.
And then if you want to come to the concerts, you can either purchase your tickets now on berglundcenter.live/events, or you can buy them at the door if we still have them available.
Yep.
So, and some of these shows, like the Almond Betts Band, come with meet and greets. So just check that out. If you're a big fan of those guys, go see if you can still get the meet and greet for them.
Yeah, and we're partnering with iHeart for the pre-parties.
Yep.
So we're going to be throwing parties on the plaza beforehand. So iHeart's going to be in here pumping the music. It's going to be a great time.
Yep.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday here at Berglund Center. Saturday and Sunday at Elmwood Park. It's the same Elmwood Park stuff, but we're just making sure that it's going to happen regardless of the weather. So really excited about that event. It's going to be great. It's affordable. The tickets on Sunday are $10. You can't beat it. We hope to see everybody there. Come out and support. It's one of those Roanoke staples. What year is it?
55th, I want to say.
55th year.
Yeah.
So we are really just trying to help out this organization by hosting it here, but it's all them. We are excited to have them, but if you like these type of events, it's important that you support them and come out.
Yep.
And so that way we can continue to have these legacy events here in Roanoke.
Yep, which would be super awesome. Festival in the Park. I've went since I was a kid. So
Yeah.
that's something we definitely want to keep around.
Yes.
But so stick around. We're done with our part of the episode, but we have an awesome interview with the very talented Eric Wayne Band.
Yeah.
They were great guys when they came in, and they also did a
Awesome.
live performance at the end of that.
Yes, I think they
So-
won Best Local Band in this very magazine.
Oh, no way. I didn't
Yeah,
get to see it. Well,
yeah.
congrats, guys.
Yeah.
Sorry I missed over that.
Yeah.
But I went to high school with a couple of the guys, and they're great guys. I didn't even know Eric could sing. So that's insane because he has such a great voice.
He
and,
does, yeah.
like that voice came out of nowhere. I had no idea. But so stay tuned for their interview. And Rob and Tiff are out for May. We'll see you next month.
All right, we'll see you guys. Welcome to Roanoke Live, the interview portion. We're here with the Eric Wayne Band. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Of course. Thank you for having us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we just wanted to have you guys on. I know you guys do a lot of shows around here in Roanoke and other places, so we just wanted to get to know you a little bit.
Yeah, well, again, thank you for having us on. We're looking forward to talking with y'all tonight.
Awesome. Well, let's just start from the beginning. How did the Eric Wayne Band come to be? So what's the origin story, so to speak?
So it started with us in high school, myself and Derek Kelly, our lead guitar player. We would actually sit down in the basement, and I would play keys, and he'd play the drums. And then we kind of went separate ways, and we went off to college and stuff. And he had came back from college, and he had stated that, hey, man, I've been playing a lot of guitar lately. Let's get together. And we would get down in his basement probably 2 or 3 days out of the week. And we'd be sitting there for like 2 or 3 hours just playing song after song after song. And both of us kind of looked at each other and said, you know what? We could probably go do this at a bar and make money and do it,
Yeah.
and drink for free and have a good time.
I needed money.
And so
Let's do that.
it started off with that, just playing as an acoustic duo down in a basement, and then we started just going into any venue possible and asking them,
Right.
hey, look, is there something that we can do to play here? Like, who do we have to talk to? What do we have to do? We had no social media at the time. We had no videos, no music out, nothing at all. And actually, there were a couple local bars around town that were, we were lucky enough that they said, hey, you know what, let's see what you got, and let us on stage. And
I think you grabbed a acoustic guitar off of a wall
yeah.
at a brewery and just started playing it, and one of the employees was like, he's good enough.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We'll book him.
Yeah.
So this was after college.
This was after
So
college.
did you guys
yeah.
do any stuff while you're in high school, or is it just messing around in the basement?
Just kind of messing around.
Yeah.
We didn't think anything of it, We were just having a good time, enjoying it. And,
Yeah.
Wrote some songs to make fun of our friends.
Yeah.
Oh, have you ever
my
tried recording those?
No. I don't think anybody wants to.
Oh gosh.
Too funny.
But no, and then eventually it just became something that we actually didn't realize it was going to become. We started gaining members and things like that, and then this acoustic duo that we were just playing around town turned into a band, and next thing you know, we have 4 guys in a truck traveling, miles and miles down the road to play music. So
That's awesome.
love that.
That's awesome.
yeah,
So, how would you describe your genre or style of music that you guys play?
that's actually a really good question because I have really no way of answering that.
Yeah.
I guess our originals are more like country.
Yeah,
Southern
so
rock,
your originals, I would
but
say. Yeah.
I don't know. Our shows sound all over the place.
And I think
I love
That's
that,
where
though.
we're at, yeah.
I love that.
I think a lot of people, they think when they see Eric Wayne band, they think immediately country.
Mm-hmm.
And what they don't realize is like when you listen to our like actually original music, it's not country. I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's a mix of a lot of our roots, which was mainly Southern rock and
Mm-hmm.
roll, country, you name it. A lot of that stuff is a lot of in our original music. So
That's kind of where the music is going right now. Like you see genres crossing over all the
a
time.
lot of subgenres.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's good that you just kind of just go where the music takes you. Sounds like you could go one direction or just whatever you think sounds good, right?
I think you can be a little bit more original.
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
that, when you start looking at specifically putting yourself in one genre, I think a lot of people make that mistake,
Yeah.
and then they start producing music that they're not interested in, or they're not. How would you say this?
It's more just like producing it out just to have it out. And
Just
Yeah,
to
not
have it out.
passionate
Yeah,
about
there's no
it.
passion.
Like,
Right.
Yeah.
There's no
creative
passion.
juice,
Yeah, those are my favorite type of artists where like an album could be totally different
Yeah.
from their previous one because I like to evolve with my artists. So like if they're putting out different types of music and kind of perfecting their craft, that's the type of music that I personally enjoy. So.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
I'm right there with
Yeah,
you.
for
Right
sure.
there with you.
So you talked about some of your influences when you guys were kids. Were either of your parents really big into music? How did you guys get into it? Were you just like having some artists that you really digged, or where did the inspiration come to start playing instruments?
His parents, definitely.
Yeah, my parents are right off the Grateful Dead bus.
Oh, okay.
Right off
I
the
love
Grateful Dead bus.
Are they going to the show?
They
in
used to go
Vegas?
to a lot of the shows. They used to go a lot out to the Rolling Stones.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then I'll never forget, and I always say this at a live show. If you ever see us live, you'll hear me say this. But my mother always was driving down the road, and I'll never forget having Skinner on the radio, or Skinner always playing. And us in the back, we're singing it, not thinking anything of it. But you could tell people around us when the window's down, they're looking around thinking, how does this lady have kids in the back of this thing?
I think your mom told me that you and your brother would be fighting, and they were so loud she would just have to turn up the limit.
That's a good strategy. I'm gonna try
Yeah,
that
it
one.
is. I like it.
And he's pretty loud, so.
Yeah.
What about you?
No, my mom and dad they love music. But,
Yeah.
I've got some cousins and maybe like aunts and uncles down the road that played just random like bluegrass music. You know what I mean? No, nobody like influence wise. I just like I don't know. I've listened to so many different crazy genres all across the board. I don't
Yeah.
know. I think I got into guitar first. I think my mom got me a guitar off of like QVC or something.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I was like,
Same
That's a
thing.
good
each
purchase
other with
there.
it,
Oh,
we would
yeah.
play, yeah. But that's about. I don't know. Obviously, I love music, but no, I can't think of any like personal influences really.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that makes
Just
sense.
for the love of music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I get that.
I'm always making noises in my head and
Yeah,
sounds.
yeah. You're like, this sounds
these
good.
out.
Let me see if I can make a beat out of this.
Yeah, yeah.
So, what is the songwriting process for you guys? Like, I know you said that you guys used to do that in the basement. Do you guys have something like more formal now, or do you guys still? Because honestly, if you still do that and it works, I mean,
I think it mainly starts with rhythm.
Like
For me, I write a lot of acoustic songs, just instrumentation, and then as I kind of just sing along with those, I kind of get something in my head, and I think, you know what, that sounds pretty good here, and then I find that hook line, and then I just start writing off that hook line,
right?
and a couple drinks, a couple smokes later, we're doing
Yeah.
a song, So, and then I come over to Derek and the rest of the band, and we kind of it's worked really well. We kind of all work together, and that's one thing that we've tried to implement in our whole entire band is, hey, don't be afraid to be creative. I think a lot of people limit themselves by not being creative,
Right.
and so you got to have that creativity aspect and allowing people to do what they love to do. I'm not going to tell Derek what to write or what to put down because
Yeah.
that's him. That's what he's good at.
Yeah.
So, And then when everything comes together and you come up with this beautiful song or this amazing song that you're thinking, how did this even come out? You know, you're really astonished with how everything comes together. So.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, you see, I can imagine like decision makings when you're like what to cut it's got to be like a interesting dynamic when you're in a band. It's like I like this. Like how do you make like final says? Is there ever any like disagreements or do you kind of just like let it all
I think
roll
you just get
together?
tired of like, all right, let's just finish it.
Yeah.
I think initially, like,
The burn that persists.
Yeah. I think we originally it was just like him and I we just pretty much wrote it on acoustic guitars. I didn't even like own an electric guitar the first year we played. We just did acoustic shows, and then because we didn't have a band, so it was the point. And then now we have a band. I think it's more like he'll kind of have the idea there. We'll hear it. We'll kind of play it a few times at rehearsal, and then that's kind of it. And we'll just go do other stuff, and we come back and do it again. But we like made the mistake of just not recording anything for like 5 years of us. Right? So we write the songs and they've changed like 100 times. So honestly, we're like writing all the songs now that we've had written for 5 years. We're writing them now because we're recording them and we're like,
Yeah.
there's a lot
That's
of things.
awesome.
Yeah, so it's now when you record it, it's a little easier to write the song.
Yeah.
By memory.
Because it's like put down, like you can't change.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
I mean, you can change it for fun live if you guys play it, but
We'll see.
Something
That's
to
what
go
we were
back
doing.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
There for like 4 or 5 years, we would show up to a show and we'd play 8 or 9 original songs, and then the next show we'd play them, and there'd be like a slightly different change in each song, whether it was a lead guitar part or a rhythmic part or a vocal change. Like
That's
there was
awesome.
always some type of change.
Yeah.
Now when it comes down to recording, where you're really breaking it down into structures, I think now we're sitting down and going, well, we should have done this a while back. You're like,
Yeah.
it would have been a lot
Advise
better.
to record the songs first before you play them like 800 times.
That
Maybe
sounds
play them
like-
like 100 times, but no.
That sounds like maybe like the Grateful Dead influence of your mom coming
Yeah.
through there because every single
different.
one of their versions is different. Like they get really into it where they're like, oh, that's in 1976 when they were in their piano era. Like it's just, like so that makes sense. That's part of your influences there.
Well, and it also kind of helps out too, because like I said, for the audience, for the listener, they
Yeah.
come out to a show and
So much fun.
it's gonna be different.
Yeah.
You know, every
Yeah.
show's
Yeah.
not gonna be the same,
But then
and
they
that's
get
gonna help.
recorded
us
and
out.
they're like, oh yeah, that's,
they get a unique show
Guess
every
I've heard
time.
that, yeah.
Yeah, I love that. So, what has been like the most memorable moment that you guys have had as a band?
I'm sure Derek has a different memorable moment, but I'll
You
never,
both can share, by the way.
I
if
don't
you
even
want.
know.
I'll never forget. When we first started, like I said, it was just at like a brewery or a bar, and us just walking in and grabbing an acoustic guitar off the wall. And last year, we had the chance and the opportunity just to open up for Jody Messina. But to walk out on that stage and see a sold out crowd, and all you see is as far back as heads.
Yeah.
I remember looking over at Derek and going, we've gone pretty far with this
Yeah.
thing, man. Like
We
this
saw
is-
like 40 Eric Wayne band shirts. in the
Yeah.
crowd, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that's so
It's
cool.
actually-
I'll take it.
So realizing that, like just walking on stage and seeing that, you just don't even know what to say to that. A lot of people think, are you scared? Are you nervous? For me, it's more of a like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, this is what you want to do. This is a dream,
Yeah.
So, and it's only going up from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you guys book your own spots, or do you have like somebody that's doing that for you? That's got to be an interesting dynamic to it. Like you just play music, but how do you take it to the next level?
So we are completely independent.
Okay.
We do all the booking, we do all the managing, we do all the social media, we do all the marketing. You
Wow.
name it, we do it.
It'd be nice to not have to.
It'd be really nice not to do that, but one thing
Who's
we've
paying?
found is if no one's going to push us right now to where we want to be pushed.
Right.
We're going to push ourselves as hard as possible. And, there's been people that have offered here and there to help us out, and we appreciate that, and they've helped us out a little bit, or helped us get like a local gig in town and things like that. But
Right.
we've never had anybody come out and say, are you guys ready to hit the road?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do
Yeah.
it.
Right, right.
And I think that would obviously.
Right. That's kind
boost
of the
us.
next step. right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But no, we completely do everything, all the booking, everything.
Wow.
That's wild.
Yeah. So, who's your dream artist or band that you guys would like to open up for?
I already know Derek's. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Derek.
I want
Mine?
both
I
you
don't
guys
know.
to
I
answer.
don't know who to open up for. I don't know.
Yeah, like it could be
Within-
anybody. Like,
Who are you gonna say?
should we
I
say
don't know.
living or dead?
I was
or-
gonna say I know he'd probably want like Dave Matthews or someone like that.
That's like my probably biggest influence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
But for me, I'd
another
probably
jam band.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I'd probably say like a Whiskey Myers or something like
Okay.
that.
Okay.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I love a country, but I love a rock and roll, and I saw those guys last year, and seeing those guys in concert were unbelievable. And to see what they do kind of do on stage, I mean, we do very similar things. I mean, we're jamming out, we're rocking it out on stage, we're leaving everything on the stage, you know. So, in my opinion, I would say Whiskey Myers.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
Awesome.
I like it.
So you mentioned that each one of your live shows are different, but is there any like pre-ritual things that you guys do before you go on stage? You like huddle up or like take us through like like a couple of hours before the show.
You
Usually we're like,
you want the PG rating or you want the R
We can
rating?
bleep it out.
or-
Bleep it out.
let's just say this. For the first couple hours, I'd probably say like 3 hours before the show, we're kind of just relaxing, maybe having a couple brews.
Yeah.
As it starts to get closer to the event, we're actually like at the venue. You know, drink a little drink, smoke a little smoke.
Yeah.
You know, getting in your go time mode, I guess you could say
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
You're ready to get on stage and just rock it out.
Yeah.
like
Get
most of
pumped
the
up.
traveling gigs is like, don't stress out the sound people.
Yeah.
Oh
Just
yeah.
Get your stuff up there.
Just
and
get
then,
your stuff up
there.
If we have
Yeah.
time afterwards, then
Yeah. But other than like actual rituals, I mean, it's not really actual rituals. Just kind of hanging out. I mean, really for us,
Yeah.
we love it, man. We
Getting
love
the
it. So there's
vibes
not
going.
like
we usually
It's not-
talk a lot of trash to each other.
Yeah.
It's very like
a lot of bro
Broy
time.
and-
Yeah.
Just broing it up.
Yeah,
I
broing
like
it
that.
up.
ritual on accident.
Yeah, broing it
That
up.
would-
One of us might pick up, you know, an acoustic guitar or something like that, and kind of pick around and just have a
Yeah,
good
just
time.
messing around.
Yeah, just lightening up the mood a little bit more, but not any like major rituals or anything. No.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So you guys, where you said you've been traveling on bus tours, but you haven't gone fully next to that next step where you just go on the road. What are some of the venues that you guys have played at? What's the kind of the furthest one away from here?
Furthest one away, we went down to Wilmington,
I
right?
think we were like right outside of Charleston. Would probably be
Yeah.
the closest. I don't know if is that further than Myrtle Beach. It probably is.
Yeah, I
so.
think a little bit
Oh,
further.
you guys played Myrtle Beach?
We play Myrtle Beach a lot, yeah.
Oh,
There's,
okay, that's cool.
We've gotten in with the Carolinas a lot, and they treat us very, very well. Even though we're Virginia boys, the Carolinas treat us very, very well, and there's a lot of places down there that absolutely love live music.
Yeah.
It blows my mind. Myrtle Beach is great. It obviously, you know what I mean? Whoever goes down to Myrtle Beach and you're playing music, obviously that's going to be a spot that you need to hit
Yeah.
at some point, right?
Right.
But we were lucky enough to get in a couple spots down in Myrtle that we're actually excited about. For the summer, we booked a show at the Bowery where Alabama
Oh, that's
started.
Heck yeah.
We obviously booked through Tin Roof, the franchise, and then working with Dead Dog Saloon and a lot of places down there. But mainly just Carolinas and stuff, and then staying in the Virginia areas. But I mean, we're up to expand anywhere and everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, anywhere and everywhere. We would love to. And that's what people ask us, well, how far are you able to travel? I said, you tell me. You tell me where to go, and we'll go there.
Depends on
Yeah.
gas prices.
Yeah, depends
Yeah.
on gas prices. But,
We got asked to go to we had a show booked in Alabama University, but they don't know what time the games are until like last minute, and
Right.
we were like way too far away. And it
Yeah,
was
to
physically
know.
Oh,
impossible.
really?
So we had to. They knew we were gonna like have to maybe.
How'd that
bail
come
out,
about?
So. I don't know. I think it was just like a friend of a friend who works for another university does like,
Oh.
marketing and stuff, and he knew of us, and so we almost went to Alabama. But
Before
So when it
a
comes-
football game too, that would
yeah,
be
it's like
wild.
a pre-show. That would have been
Yeah.
sweet, but
Yeah.
you can only a bus can only move but so far.
Right.
Right.
Like rent a tour bus, rent and everything, and it's like not gonna happen.
Yeah.
and one thing I've noticed is it's all about who you know. Because, I mean, we have
Right.
friends that we haven't talked to in years, and they'll reach out to us, and they'll say, hey, man, you know, we have this gig down here. We have this person reaching out looking for a band. And that's how we ended up with the Alabama University gig.
Yeah.
And for us, you know, we were kind of shook because we're sitting there thinking, all right, we're going to go down to Alabama and play.
Yeah.
And we were in contact with them. We were saying, you know, we're driving from North Carolina, and they said, you know, 3 days before the event, they're like, yeah, we have no clue what time the event is. And that's not their fault, you know, it
No,
just depends
yeah.
on when they're playing. And,
Right.
the game was at like 10 o'clock in the morning, and we had to leave from North Carolina at like 2 a.m.
Oh yeah.
So we were going to take a bus down there, and then
It's like those Alabama, like they start pre-gaming at like 5 a.m.
they were like, we're going to need you
We're
here
not
at
gonna make it.
6:30.
They might not stop from
Like,
Friday night.
too early.
I just looked up and said 6:30. Well, your sound checks at 6:30 in the
Yeah.
morning. I'm like, what?
Wow. So, what's your dream venue to perform at? Like, I don't know if you guys have the same answer or different ones, but feel free to both of you guys answer.
I don't think there's one venue. I think the dream for me is to perform in a stadium,
Yeah.
period. I mean, do a stadium show. To be able to walk out on a big stage and look out to a crowd that singing your music or even just vibing to your music, even if you're an opening band, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's a huge thing. I mean, that's a huge
Yeah.
deal. Not many people, not very little people get to be able to do
Right.
that, you
Right.
know? And so that's a dream of mine. I mean, I would, whether it's the Berglund Center or whether,
Yeah.
you know, Magic sitting, you know, what is it, Madison Square Garden, you know, Magic Square. But yeah, I mean, that's a dream of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a special type of presence to command that many people. Man. That's a cool dream. I love it.
Want to be confident about it.
Yeah.
You know, to
Yeah.
walk out on the stage and people, I mean, it's a whole different ballgame. And I don't think a lot of people realize it. When they're out in the crowd, they're thinking, oh, this person's on stage. But then when it comes down to the moment for them to step out on the stage, a lot of people are like, hey, I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah. It's a lot of pressure.
It takes a lot of
for
confidence
sure.
to do that.
Definitely.
So you said that like you do different like versions of the songs. Are you coming up with those on the fly while you're on stage, or is that something that you guys talk about beforehand? Like, what's the communication like when you're on the stage?
I think like we've all since we started out doing covers, like we just had to run through so many different genres and versions of covers, like because we only had like 3 original songs, and for 4 hours you can only replay those, but so many times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we started out with a bunch of different ones, and like we'll hear a song, which we do this all the time, and like the genre preferences of everyone in the band is so different anyways. Somebody will be like, are you playing that song? And we'll be like, no. And then we'll be like, well, we can. We mix that together. You know, it's like, then
That's
sometimes
awesome.
they'll just like, I'll hear a progression of like, hey, that's the same thing as that song. And he'll be like, oh, all right. And then I'll just kind of go with that.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And
But
that's
I
the thing.
mean, it's, yeah, pretty much that. I mean, we'll pick one that we like if we all agree on a cover. And then
Right.
9 times out of 10, like if you play enough genres, you're like, oh, I know 5 other songs that sound just like that. So
Yep.
you can mash them up, you know.
Yeah.
That's probably how that works.
And I
most
think
of the time, right?
there's even been times like on stage where like live performance, we're performing and you know I'll look over the guys and say just keep playing, and I'll go into and I'll sing something completely
really?
different.
Wow.
You know, there's been times where we're in the truck on the way to the gig, and we'll be playing a song on the radio, and we'll say let's play that tonight. You know, and,
That's
Doesn't always
awesome.
sound good.
yeah.
though.
It doesn't always sound good. We'll say that it doesn't always sound.
Not terribly all the time.
But there are some that
No
we
lie.
play that were, you know, people are like, oh, yeah, that was killer. That was killer. You know,
Yeah.
How many times y'all played that? I was like, that's the first time we played it on stage.
Probably won't do it again.
Yeah, probably won't do that again. But yeah, sometimes it works in our favor. About probably 60% of the time it doesn't.
So more often than not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's all right.
But
Yeah.
on stage communication, man, I mean, honestly, it's unless you're a musician, it's hard for most people to understand. 'Cause
Yeah.
I can look at Derek and he can know exactly what note I'm going to hit,
Oh, wow.
exactly where I'm going to be at. I turn around and look at Shavante Hughes, our drummer, and he knows what's going to happen next. And
That's
same with our bass
wild.
player, Tyler Carter. I mean, he'll do these exact same things. So just playing with each other, after playing a lot with each other,
Yeah.
you kind of just realize that, hey,
Yeah.
you know,
It's like a
I know
sport,
I know
right?
his tendencies.
Kind of know
Yeah.
like you know body language about like where you're gonna go. Kind of like read the.
Read the
that
room.
doesn't always work either. But
Yeah.
most of the time,
How many shows do you think you guys have played together at this?
Total?
Yeah.
just
Oh,
him and
gosh.
I don't even know. Like probably. Well, I think in like 2018 we've played almost every weekend at least once.
Oh my
Yep.
gosh. Wow.
Since
And
2018.
then
Yeah.
2017 probably like a couple a month, and then. But now we try to do like 2 or 3 every weekend.
Really?
I would say total maybe
But I don't know those numbers. I'll add them up. But yeah, probably every weekend since 2018.
maybe
Me and him.
wild.
Yeah.
600 shows, him and I
Yeah.
together.
I don't. Yeah, something like that.
I mean, that's acoustic, full band, everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be well over 600 shows.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
so I
lot
guess
of
you would
shows.
develop some sort of.
Yeah, well, especially with him and I. I mean,
Sense, yeah.
he pretty much knows what I'm going to eat for
Yeah.
dinner that night.
I'll be like, man, you gotta change it up.
Last time you ate this, we didn't have a good show.
A different seasoning or something. No, I think it's too like when you just play with somebody acoustic though, you learn a little bit more. Like you know what I mean. You know exactly what's gonna. So even like if I don't even play the drums, but I could tell the drummer like, hey, this is where he's going with that. You know what I mean? Because it's like he's so. It's just when you're like it's more intimate to sit right next to somebody and play acoustic guitar like 500 times
Yeah.
in like a couple of years. You know. So I think that helps probably because
Really?
because we've
Okay.
had different members. We've had to go through some different bass players and drummers. Just because the more we start traveling, the more people are like,
Yeah.
commitment.
Right.
It's a lot easier that I'm still here with him, I guess, so he doesn't have to like
Redo everything.
kind of
Start from the very beginning.
relationship to the
Yeah.
music other than what he's doing. Like, so because I kind of know what he's trying to do, so I think that helps that we've both just been at it the whole time. So.
When you're up there on stage, or when you're making the set list, how do you balance like doing covers versus original music? Like you want to, yeah.
So I'll give you an idea. First of all, we don't make set lists.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Wait, up like a bigger gig, like maybe like we have an hour set.
If we have an allotted amount of time,
Yeah.
because then we don't want to waste like 20 seconds every song being like.
Right.
Yeah. What do you do?
But-
Yeah.
Then you just lost like so. I think within an hour and a half we make a set list. Anything more than that, we just kind of
Just play.
go with
But when we do make a set list, most of the time we try to, what I try to do, and he might agree with me, but we try to build it up and then play an original.
Okay.
Build it up, then original.
That makes
Build it up.
sense.
So
Depending
it
on
might
the crowd,
be,
obviously. like,
right. So it
the
might
age
be
and the
2 covers,
region.
and then we play an original, or we might play an original right off the bat. And if the crowd's in it, then we might play one exciting cover that can get people up and going, and then we'll go back to another original.
Gotcha.
But I mean, obviously, like every musician knows, you can't just go out there and play original music.
Yeah.
Because not a lot of people are going to be
At least
into
at
that.
first, right? Until you
Yeah.
Right.
put out tons of albums.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because people like to do sing-alongs.
Right.
and,
Yeah.
have a
People
good
like what they
time.
know. You know?
But also balancing like
Exactly.
you guys been working hard on this music and you want
Right.
people to hear it.
Right. And that's the hard part is figuring
Yeah.
out what original songs do we pick.
Yeah.
What I've noticed is really funny if you do enough covers and then you throw one of your originals in there that's not even out. People try to sing to it like they know it. And I'm like, what is this? She doesn't know these words. I'm like, and they'll like
They've never
mouth
heard
them
this
to their
before.
boyfriend, and they're like, what song is this?
You're
And
like,
I'm they
wow,
don't know
she's a
this."
fan.
They're like, wait, we don't even have this recorded.
How did she know that?
Certainly doesn't know this.
We'll be in North
Amazing.
Carolina, like not even releasing
But
music.
that's a good thing. That means the song sound like
Yeah.
something that you can, they relate to something that you can, have a good time to. And all that, so.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
fun.
So you guys mentioned you were recording right now. So what's next for you guys? Like recording, touring. Like I know you guys said you had a show this weekend too. So
Right now, we are finishing up the current album that we're working on. We're super excited to get that out. We have about 4 or 5 more songs that we're working on that we're finishing up now in the studio, and then we'll release the whole album hopefully by the maybe
don't
mid-
put a date
I know. I don't.
Yeah,
Let's not put a date on.
tell you
Let's
didn't
not
want
put a
to.
date on.
They
Let's
will
say that.
hold you to
That's
it.
why you keep them around.
Yeah, exactly. Let's just say soon. All right. Let's
He's
just
a
say
PR guy.
Yeah.
You put that date on there.
I
You
know,
had 4
right?
months to
That's a stamp on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah,
not do
yeah.
that.
late.
Where do you guys record at? Is there like a studio?
So
in
we
town?
used to record a lot at local studios around town, right? And then we realized real quick, nowadays, even in Nashville, a lot of recordings are happening in these small little studios, in-home studios.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so,
It's cheaper.
yeah, and it's a
In the
lot
end,
cheaper.
I mean, if you're doing
Yeah, and
a
you
lot
can
of
take
them.
your time with it. You don't have to
Exactly,
be
and
rushed.
you can make it
Yeah.
however you want it.
I
you
can
know?
play my solo 400 times.
Until you love
usually
it.
do.
Yeah.
But we started having our own studios in our home. So I have a studio. Derek has a studio. With
We did our
Mayfield
old bass
Entertainment.
player. The other one's out right now. I think we recorded our old bass player, Frank Hatfield's house. He did a really good job with it. I think, yeah, those are all at his house.
Yeah, that was all at Rock House Studio.
And then we
That's his
just
house.
we send them to Nashville and they do the mixing and stuff.
Yeah, we have
nice.
an engineer down in Nashville. We send it down to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that
Oh, that's
he
cool.
mixes and masters all of our stuff. He's been awesome to work with. So,
How'd you get hooked up with him?
actually asking around here,
Okay.
asking musicians where are they getting a lot of their stuff at. Where are they sending their things? Where are they sending their music to? Some people were saying, well, we do it ourselves, or we have an engineer in town. For us, we wanted to send it to a little bit more where it's radio played, or a
Right.
little bit more to where people, are really into it, and
Yeah.
into mixing and mastering.
Like
Professional.
more into the Southern country rock thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
right.
you want somebody mixing like if around here there's not like a huge local like hard hitting like country scene of like musicians and mixing and producing,
Right,
you know what I
right,
mean?
right.
I think the music scene around is great, but I think it's different. Like there's so many people in Nashville that are like not even top tier, but they're really good because that's just the style that everyone
Right.
used to there. So and that's kind of the way our originals I think come off. So we wanted somebody that would know the spin on it we want is to sound like, but it still sounds like we sound, but not, it's not straight up like, I wouldn't say like mainstream
Right.
Nashville country, but it's mixed because you can mix things ways to where it's like, oh, that sounds more like a pop song, or that sounds way more like just kind of an organic jam rock song. You know what I mean? Depending on how people mix and what they prefer. But I think with the guy that does our stuff, it seems to be right down where we want.
He gets what you guys are going for. Yeah, that makes sense.
These days, you can send we can kind of put it like we want it and send them like a reference track, and they'll say, okay, that's what they're going for.
Okay.
And nowadays, people are so good at it. It's like, we just send them some notes. They can say, hey, did you like that? And we'll be like, no, don't do that. Or like, we want less of that. And then it's, people are so proficient these days with that type of thing. Because, I think back in the day, it's like everybody did everything. Now it's like there's just a guy that mixes.
Yeah.
A guy that masters.
Right.
A guy that does the actual recording, like the sound engineer stuff. And then, so everybody's just like top notch at what they do. And all the technology's so good. So,
Yeah, so much access to it.
Yeah.
Like, not everyone had the equipment, and now there's a lot of different people that can get their hands on
You can
it.
buy it off of Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
you can buy everything on
For real.
Yeah.
But no, I would recommend for even local musicians and things like that, listen to your local musicians. Listen to the artists that are around you. If you find someone that says, you know what, that song sounds great and it sounds great mixed and mastered, reach out to them and say, hey, listen, where are you getting your stuff mixed and mastered?
Yeah. Well, that's giving other people, work too. It's like if somebody, and everybody mixes different. So if you don't like the way somebody's stuff sounds, don't ask them.
Yeah, don't ask. Yeah, don't ask.
Right.
Maybe do. But it's all preference. It's very subjective anyway. So.
Awesome. Well, like I said, I know you guys perform a lot in the Roanoke area. Do you guys want to talk about maybe some events that you guys have in May coming up? Do you guys have any big gigs y'all want to talk about?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got quite many. I will talk about one this weekend. Rockhaven, out at Lockhaven Lake. It is a brain injury awareness event, a charity event, which is awesome. Awesome to have. It's this Saturday. There's 3 bands: Soul Acoustics, us, and Aaron and the Wildflowers. Wildfire. Yeah. Sorry, and but that's gonna be fun. I'm really pumped about that this weekend. Coming up in May, we hit another tour. We go down to the Carolinas the first weekend of May. And then, other than that, I will say that we are at Martin's Downtown,
We're
which
at
is in
Twisted Track on May 11th.
May 11th.
Okay.
Martin's Downtown's
Awesome.
May 17th. Yeah.
This is why I have me.
Yeah, he's on top of it.
Well, do you go to your Facebook page, and I'm sure you could see all
Yeah,
your
they're on there.
Instagram.
Yeah.
What's the taglines? Can you tell if people want to check out your socials? What's the name of them?
That's at Eric Wayne Band, and you can type Eric Wayne Band on Google, and everything pops up. A lot of people ask us, well, where can we find you on Facebook? And I just say, type in Eric Wayne Band on Google, and everything pops
That's
up.
the easiest way.
That's
to
the
do it,
easiest
right?
way. The easiest way. And I will say, if you're looking for our music and stuff like that, and an easier way to get to our music, I will say if you go to our Instagram page or our Facebook page, we do have a Linktree account, our link there that you can click on that sends you to our music, our website, how to book with us, and how to reach out to us. So we just actually had a guy reach out to us yesterday from Arkansas, which is awesome to have someone reach out and talking about our music. And, he was talking about how he would love to see us live and stuff. So when you see things like that, you're like, wow,
That's awesome.
all right, man, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you guys coming on.
Yeah,
Thank
of
you
course.
very
Thank
much
y'all
for
having
joining
us.
us.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and we're gonna let's see if you guys can perform a song for us. If you don't
Yeah,
mind.
let's do it.
All right.
Give it a whirl.
Yeah. Sitting on this riverbank, just watching the water flow, trying to catch these damn fish I see with this old cane boat. Stepped across the riverbed, what I thought was a stone. As I fell to my knees, I knew I was wrong. Singing back where the road ends and the river flows, there stands a stepping stone that nobody knows. Drowns by the day steps you made on them stepping stones. Gotta watch out for those stepping stones. Some will lead you to the right, some will lead you to the wrong. One step could end it all, and one could lead you in a line. Watch out for those stepping stones, even when they leave you dry. Singing back where the road ends and the river flows, there stands a stepping stone that nobody knows. Drowned by the day and nightly roads. Watch out for those steps you made on them stepping stones. Watch out for those steps you make on them stepping stones.